How far away we are as a football club from competing with some very good teams. We're just competing at a basic AFL standard. We're not committed to doing that yet.
You're not committed with players' commitment?
Everyone together. Everyone together. I'm not going to get into individualise or getting individual players or certain groups, or it's all of us together. We're just not committed to being the best footy club we can be week in, week out. And if you are, you might lose against the good teams, but you don't get thumped like we have been.
So it's an attitude. Obviously, talent's an issue, but the bigger issue is that what you're saying? Or?
Yeah, I don't think talent's an issue. Attitude's our biggest issue, and our commitment to preparing to play AFL footy week in, week out. We can't escape from the fact that if you're committed to do that, you don't lose by 160 points.
Why aren't they committed totally? At this level, you expect them to be?
Yeah, look, that's the questions we've got to keep asking ourselves and keep looking at and keep finding out. And to their credit, up until a couple of weeks ago, they've been pretty committed. They've been resilient to what they were doing. We hadn't been getting thumped. We've been going about our process and finding out about our list and who was going to be here next year and who wasn't. But the last 2 weeks, we haven't shown that what we've shown before that.
How do you react now? Obviously, one of the changes last week, we were expecting a response today.
Half the changes were forced and half were a result of the game to an extent, I suppose. So we can't go making another 8 changes, but we've got 3 weeks to make sure an effort like that isn't put out in the park again, and 2 of them are going to be at home.
Were there any positives at all out of today's game?
John Butcher's game. I think he was committed to playing an AFL standout there for his first game. Limited opportunities, and Jonas showed us a little bit. Played on Hodge most of the day and did a good job there. So apart from that, that was about it.
So they were very impressive, I thought, those 2 kids in that display. Is that a fair call?
Yeah, they were, no doubt. Yeah, I was really pleased for how they went about it, and they got a long way to go, but it was the start of a long career for us.
So Butcher showed his hands were good, and Jonas did a good run with Ryan.
I thought Butch competed well on the ground also, but they showed a fair bit that they're going to have enough to survive at AFL level and prosper.
Is it the attitude? Is it experienced players or younger players or everyone? Or?
Oh look, I think every AFL player has a story to tell every week, what's going on in their lives and where their career's going and all those sorts of things. And we've got a bit going on with where we're at on the ladder, and coming towards the end of the year, but we can't afford to not bring the right attitude every week, no matter if we're at home or away. And the last 2 weeks have smelled a bit of that. So we've got to make sure that doesn't happen, because the club needs a real honest effort from every player and every coach and everyone involved in the footy club every week. And at the moment, we haven't had that.
How does it happen though? When the players we spoke to during the week also they're embarrassed by the effort against Collingwood. They've come out and redeemed themselves today. How does it happen given what's taking place?
Oh, look, as I keep saying, if you're actually committed to saying that, then you don't have a result like you had today. So it's good enough. I'm sure we'll come out and say it wasn't acceptable what happened today all week, but it means nothing unless you actually come out and do something about it. And we've got the Bulldogs, Essendon, and then Melbourne. So the way we're going at the moment, they could beat us like Hawthorn and Collingwood have. Just because they're the top 4 team doesn't mean they're going to be easier to play against. So we've got to prepare ourselves for that. We'll soon find out how keen we are to come up to that challenge.
How did you react to the players after the game?
To an extent, it's useless giving them the bait. We, ask them to go away and think about their commitment to each other and the club come Monday, and give us an answer if you really were committed this week to coming out and preparing to play. And we'll see how many honest answers we get.
It sounds like it's almost useless to try and implement any other change until that's addressed.
Yeah, look, no doubt. We've this year we've definitely tried to play, have a good look at our list and play our youngsters, even though today wasn't down that path apart from Butcher and Jonas. And look, it is. We had great structures in place, but from the moment the ball was bounced, we got ripped inside, and their uncontested footy and all that sort of thing just took us apart. So once you're doing that, you're on the back foot just trying to defend. And the third quarter we changed everyone to play just to stem the flow. So until you sort out the issues of our list and who wants to actually be here and play for the football club, you're right, you're not going to sort out all the other stuff, and that comes before anything else.
How many changes do you think you'll have to make to your list?
I don't know. I don't have a number. I'm not going to get into the individualised stuff at the end of the year, but you know, we're forced to make 4 changes, and so we'll have to do that. We'll continue to keep having a good look at our list and seeing which one's going to take us forward. And saying that, even though you know we're all feeling, everyone who supports the club and works at the club, we're feeling pretty low at the moment. You know, I believe in what I'm doing and what we can get out of this group and what we can improve as a group and where we can go as a group. But you know, we've got a big 3 weeks ahead of us before we actually start to be able to work on some stuff for pre-season.
Does it make it more difficult to sell the message to players who might, you know, be considering leaving the club? Does it make it difficult to sell the message to stay?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, look, it's a lot easier if we had won the last 2 weeks or won 10 games this year. It'd be easier to sell that message to those guys who are out of contract. So, you know, that's difficult, but the club's doing the best they can to convince them there's a future here. But at the moment, I'm sure they're not thinking positively about their future here.
Any latest on Tringo Carlisle?
No, nothing's moved from where it has the last few weeks.
Do you demand an answer before the end of the season, or just
I will certainly get a bit more demanding with what's going on. But you know, we're obviously not going to be playing finals, so it's going to play out a fair bit during that time too, I would have thought. And but hopefully we'll have an answer, you know, in the next fortnight or so, and then we can start working towards a contract. But I'd say it's still going to take some time.
You said your list is not as bad as the performances have shown. How many years do you think before you can be a legitimate finals contender again?
Oh, look, it's pie in the sky stuff. I think having a look at it at the moment, we're a million miles away from it. But there are clubs who have shown their ability to bounce back from having a poor year and continuing to play in the finals. But geez, at the moment that looks a long way away for us as a group. But you know, I'm confident in the core group of what we've got here that they can be a group of very good players. And we're going to keep them here at the club, and then surround them with good coaches, good fitness people, and other good players, and climb our way up the ladder. And what we're going to achieve next year is going to be better than what we've achieved this year.
Who are you looking at for next week that didn't play today?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I think we've you know, we've got a couple of guys out with injuries, so I'm not quite sure everyone went today in the SANFL. So yeah, I'd only be guessing of names that how they went and how they got through, and if they're going to be fit for next week.
What's the biggest area of concern on your list in positional order that you need to address in the off-season?
Oh, look, we need to get fitter and stronger. We've seen that against the last 2 weeks against some very good mature sides. So we've got to work on that. But there's a lot of other teams that need to work on that too. So there's lots of areas, but I would say it's that. It's getting another pre-season into first, second, third, fourth year players and building them up from there. And then getting off the season on a good start always helps.
And position-wise, you need to get more midfielders, or?
Yeah. I think you can always do with your midfielders, half-back, half-forwards, those kind of guys. You can always do with a lot more of them.
Over the trade period, will be very active in the trade period this year?
Yeah, I would have thought so. Yeah, I think more clubs will probably be more active, but yeah, we'll definitely be trying to be as active as we can be for sure. Yeah, like our supporters would be, and there's nothing worse than fronting up and putting out a performance like that, and then having to back up all week talking about it, and then getting out in the field and producing another one. So, yeah, definitely sick of doing what. You know, these losses haven't been part of our club, but they are at the moment, the last fortnight, and we've got 3 weeks, and then we've got a hell of a lot of time to try and build up some respect that we've lost a lot this year, and that's going to take a hell of a lot of time. And you know, but I'm looking forward to doing that journey with the players we're going to have here.
Man, you put Piercy down back today. Is that because it felt by tag, or?
No, I suppose Jasper and Hamish being out, we needed some run and carry, and you know, we put him there, but he was under a fair bit of stress, I suppose, by how much time the ball was going down there. So, you know, he showed glimpses, but you know, Daniel's got to learn to be able to have another string to his bow and be able to play there, and we think that'll be one of the position we can throw in there to release him.
So Salabeck and Kane Corns, our futures, I know they've got another year to go on their contracts. They look like they're really struggling at the moment.
Well, look, I think Salabeck had been okay since he'd been back in for us, I don't know, a month ago. So, look, I'm not going to individualise on the individual careers and that kind of stuff, but, you know, Stephen's contracted and so is Kane.